let's talk about proxy wars. We know that proxy wars exist, but the parties of this kind of war always wanted to be opponents in a real war, even if they act at the instigation of others who aren't directly involved in the hostilities. The Spanish Civil War is an example of proxy war, and it is the same for the Greek Civil War. For the last one, the implication of the Soviet Union is now a fact, but at that time, it wasn't obvious. Why? Because many people thought that it was something specific, and they saw only the local logistical support from Albania, Bulgaria, and Yugoslavia. But none of them was the big brother. For the Soviet Union and its vocabulary, it was only a special operation, nothing more. By the way, when the Soviet Union decided to end this proxy war and stopped its support, everything was finished, and the presumed big civil war became a small proxy war. It was only an attempt to go further to Yalta in a secret way, but it failed. Special operations weren't new and didn't characterize only the Cold War or the post-Cold War, but also the ante-Cold War, because it was a way of thinking for the Soviet Union. So what is the point? For the Soviet Union, the most important thing is the notion of operation between tactics and, of course, strategy. It was in 30s, they create this, and after that, they create the notion of special operation. Special operations for them were in fact only proxy wars. One of the involved guys was, of course, Soviet Union. The idea was to use this kind of proxy wars. One, if they exist already, to use them. If they don't exist, to create them. So two things, 1 and 2. For example, for the Spanish Civil War, it wasn't a creation, because they start all this kind of thing with the right wing, but it was not controlled, it was more a defense. And they use it. It was an exploitation of the system, okay? But for the Greek Civil War, it was a creation. Why? Because they find what? A substrate, which was positive to them. So they could use it. The problem was Yalta. Moscow before, Tehran before, but Yalta. So in Yalta, in reality, everything was done. But the idea was, can we do something more? Can we get something? Even in a subversive way? Yes, it's possible, because we have guys that trust the system. They are believers, so they think they are doing the right thing. No. So they don't use, in fact, the fighters. They use the party. They send dollars. They send weapons, dollars and German weapons, to avoid any trace. And they wanted to go further, but without coast. So at that time, everybody thought what? That it was only a Greek local problem. That's why they saw only the logistical support of Albania, Bulgaria, and Yugoslavia, and especially with Tito. But the problem was what? In the opposition of the Kremlin and Tito, the party in Greece has one choice, one option, Stalin. So Tito stopped everything about logistics, and it was the end. So if you think that it was a real war, it's very strange when you study the end. If you know that is a proxy war, the end is not strange. It's just a consequence. So it was important for us to see that this kind of proxy wars, which are only special operations, can be considered by the innocent people as real wars. In fact, no. It was fake. So it was a fake civil war, which was in reality a real proxy war. That's all.